Welcome to the Maccabees, a drive-through Chanukah experience. The giant menorah is our first stop as we proceed through a beautiful tunnel of lights. My goodness, the blues, the orange, it looks fantastic. And coming up here we have our first stop for a photo opportunity. All set? Yeah, let's take a photo. Oh, I love this. A great photo opportunity. Okay. What should we say? How about on three, I'm going to say latkes. Okay? Give me a countdown. Latkes! Now, if you pay close attention, once we come up on stage one, we're going to see a very wonderful performance. It's going to have live actors. It's going to have video features. It's going to have music and prayer. It's going to have absolutely everything that we need. Oh, and the lights change their features? Now that is fantastic.
Chag Sameach, and welcome to the Maccabees, a drive-through Chanukah celebration. Before our journey through ancient times begins, we have a few reminders and regulations. For the safety of our guests and performers, please remain in your vehicle with windows up at all times. In order to best enjoy the show, keep your radio tuned to the proper station and turn the volume up high. As our story unfolds, please follow the path indicated with lights and arrows. As you travel, attendants will help guide your vehicles to the proper positions. They will ensure your safety and keep you far from any peril. And finally, our story is filled with song and prayer. Throughout the experience, we encourage you to join along. Cheer for your heroes, boo at the villains, and when you hear us pray, be sure to raise your voice with ours in celebration, so that Hashem may hear our beautiful chorus of voices. Now, let our tale begin. Lech l'shalom. In a time long past, more than 2,000 years ago, when Israel was known as the land of Judea, the Jewish people lived in peace and reveled in joy. But then there came a tyrant king, Antiochus Ephesus the Fourth. He did not like the Jewish people. He did not like them at all. He took their land and destroyed their homes. Worst of all, Antiochus took what was most sacred to the Jewish people. He burned the Torah, forbade the covenant, and outlawed keeping the Sabbath. Any who disobeyed him paid the ultimate price. But even through this time of darkness, the Jewish people kept their faith. They knew Hashem would keep them safe. In his humble home, Matisyahu, the bravest of the Kohen, defied the king's rules. He made certain to always keep the Sabbath, never faltering in his devotion to God. Join us, friends, as we welcome the Sabbath. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kichanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. But on this Sabbath day, there would be no rest for Matisyahu. An emissary, messenger of the king, appeared at his home to conduct official business. The king had heard rumors of someone in this very village still practicing their faith. Try as he might, Matisyahu could not hide. The emissary smiled an evil smile and demanded 3 things of Matisyahu. First, he would renounce his faith. Second, he would make a sacrifice to false idols. And third, he would do this in public for all to see. Matisyahu did not for a moment consider this deal. No one could make him question his belief. He cast the messenger from his home and proclaimed his devotion to God for all to hear. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is God, the Lord is one. Knowing that the king would send his army, Matisyahu gathered his family and fled to the wilds of the Judean hills. It was there he built an army, trained them for battle, and prepared for the coming war against the evil king Antiochus.
Well, that was great. Okay, on to the next.
One long year has passed since Matisyahu fled to the wilds. He and his sons have taken shelter in the caves and tunnels hidden throughout the land. It is here they bide their time, hone their skills, and ready themselves for the battles still to come. Eliezer was gifted in the way of martial arts, a blessing from Hashem. His skills with a staff had no equal. Eliezer, show the people what you can do. He was a fine soldier, ready for any challenge. As if in answer, Judah Maccabee, oldest of the brothers, appeared. Eliezer could not contain his excitement and sang out in joy. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai. Judah brought news of the war. He had fought many battles, defeated countless soldiers, and now victory was close enough to taste. Their armies had advanced and were poised to take back the city and Temple Mount. This war had been long and hard fought, but their dedication and faith in God was finally rewarding them. Unfortunately, their joyous moment could not last. Shimon, youngest of the Maccabees, had arrived with a distraught look upon his face. Judah and Eliezer attempted to comfort him, trying to discover what was wrong. Suddenly, Shimon collapsed and cried out in great anguish, "Matisyahu is dead!" Matisyahu, their father and leader of the army, was gone. who would guide them now? The brothers mourned the loss of their father, and for the losses still to come. Judah knew that in this moment, his people needed a leader. Judah's courage inspired his brothers. They would continue this fight, not just for their father, but for all the Jewish people. Together, they would be victorious. Judah sent Eleazar to the city to fortify their armies, to give them hope, and to pass along word that a new commander led this army, and his name was Judah, the Hammer, the Maccabee. Judah then turned to Shimon and gave him a task no other could bear. He asked of Shimon to be strong when others were weak, to be fair when others were unjust, and to be kind when others were cruel. The brothers prayed together and asked Hashem for protection. "In here, we found them! Attack and clear them out!" Soldiers had discovered the Maccabees in their hiding place. Judah stood strong. This was but the first step on the path laid out for him by God. Together, Judah and Shimon cried out, "Mi Hashem Elai!"
Well, that was just wonderful. I really like the differences between Act 1 and Act 2. It seems like it got a lot darker, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next.
Judah Maccabee led his people in battle, fighting with the strength of God, winning fight after fight, gaining triumph after triumph, until the day came at last where they stood ready to retake the Temple Mount. One final enemy still stood in their way. You know it. You hate him. Let's hear you boo and hiss for Antiochus. He was evil, malevolent, vicious, woeful, despicable, heinous, rotten breath, fart-smelling, foot fungus having, broccoli-loving, good-for-nothing king. Hey, don't look at me. I just tell the people the truth, okay? Anyways, Antiochus knew his demise was close at hand. He could sense Judah getting closer and closer with every passing moment. The very thought had him quaking in his sandals. And right on cue, Judah appeared. Judah and the king prepared for a vicious battle. in a best 2 out of 3. The Maccabees stood triumphant. Let's hear you cheer for our hero. Judah worked hard to cleanse the temple and expel any remaining trash. Judah found only one small jug of oil with the Kohen Gadol, the high priest's seal. It was enough to last for only 1 night. But then, a miracle happened. Hashem kept the flames burning for 8 nights, long enough for Judah to find more oil to keep the flames always lit. To remember this miracle and give thanks to God, we celebrate for 8 nights by lighting candles and raising our voices as one in song and prayer. Join us now as we bring Chanukah into our homes.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah.
Thank you for joining us, friends. Now, go forth into the world as the Maccabees would. Fight for what is right, and always treat others with kindness and respect. The power of youth is within you. Happy Chanukah and Chag Sameach.
Well, hello, boys and girls. Wasn't that unbelievable? Well, thank you for coming to the Power of Youth's Maccabee drive-thru. And let me tell you a little bit about the Power of Youth. But first, I think I need to be in the Chanukah spirit. Hold up. All right. This is much better. Now I'm feeling it. Well, boys and girls, the Power of Youth is here to help every single child in the whole city of Los Angeles reach their full potential, emotionally, spiritually, and make sure that they can do whatever they can to add their light and their talent into this beautiful world. So whether it's through activities, programs, retreats, events, mental health referrals, whatever we can do to help your power feel empowered, and you can take over the world, boys and girls. You are our future. So, ladies and gentlemen, drive home safe, and remember that the power of youth is inside of you.
Canto estinam, canto nicht mehr song. Die Beute mir an Chaloshim, Rabbi miat, I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light, I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light, I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light, I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle.
Well, that was wonderful. I feel like I know the full story of Chanukah. It was entertaining, it was delightful. I think that was a perfect way to celebrate Chanukah.